Hello my friend, welcome to this video. My name is Leo, welcome back to my channel. And today I want to make a video on job in Ukraine. This might be not the shortest video, but it will be very useful for you if you want or you think you might want to get some work or some part-time job in Ukraine. So in this video I'm going to give you the real truth on working in Ukraine. I'm really sick and tired of fancy girls giving unrealistic advice on other videos how to get a great job in Ukraine and use some websites and so on. Next I'm going to tell you the minimum and the average salary as to this moment of publishing this video. Then I'm going to explain what to do if you are a student, if you are a girl, and the best way to make money in Ukraine. Okay, let's start it. My first tip is never ever get a job in Ukraine. You think it's crazy, but I have my reasons, and I want to share them with you. So, reason number one is that the minimum salary is just $150. While, of course, the average salary is about $300, not everybody is getting the average salary. So lots of folks are working for just $150. And even in a small city, the rent might cost about $100. In Kiev it will be, of course, way more. And if we calculate the food and the rent, well, you need at least $200 just to somehow live here. So that's my reason number one not to work in Ukraine. Reason number two, even if you are a professional, you aren't going to get paid what you are worth here. Because they are not just going to pay you like $20 or $30 per hour. It's like unimaginable in Ukraine. So no. Say no to working in Ukraine. But don't worry, I'm going to give you some options which you can use and even get considerably fast cash in Ukraine if you must to. Okay, let's move on. They don't know this word, freelancing, in Ukraine. So part-time hours, they just don't get it. Either it will be not well paid, or you will have to get some extra stuff which is not your responsibility, work with papers, or do some other stuff which is not connected in a lifetime to your expertise or what you agreed to work in this company. Let's move on. 99% of people won't speak English. Well, yeah, if you're going to work as a super professional consultant in some kind of big organization, in this case, yeah, you might find some people who are able to talk with you. But in all other cases, you will be surrounded by people who don't speak English, and you might not like it. It might be a bit like depressing. Reason number 5. To get a decent job, you will have to give a decent bribe. Yes, and I mean it. Even to get like a $200 paycheck in a month, you might have to pay $300 or even $500 or whatever. It's ridiculous. I don't think you should do it because there are better options. Step number 6, no upfront payment. And sometimes they use scammy options where they push you to work for 1 month and then for half a month, and they don't pay you for the first month. If you are going to disappear on any moment of this first month, they take it like make it like a security that you won't run away from them in the first month. So that's also an option in some kind of, especially if you will try to sell something in like supermarkets or stuff like this. If you are a student, probably you won't be able to work officially. That's why you might get even less than 150. Yes, you might still get a job, and it might be in a restaurant, or you might try to wash cars, but really I don't think you should do it because it's terrible and it's not enough money to do this. If you are a girl, well, there is no such options as babysitting for decent money in Ukraine. It's not like in the USA where everybody can babysit and get some dollars for several hours. It's not like this. In the best case, you will get paid like from 100 hryvnias to 200 hryvnias, okay, maybe even 500 hryvnias, but you will have to really dig in every single website and every single opportunity to find such a great position. The best option, what you can do to make money in Ukraine, is never ever work in Ukraine. There is such a thing which is called freelancing. So freelancing, you basically work for somebody else part-time and they pay you decent money. And because you speak English, because you are watching me right now in English, I suppose your English is at least intermediate or English is your native language. So you can get a decent job online where you are going to get like from at least $500 to $1,000 per month, working part-time hours with English-speaking people who really appreciate you and pay you what you are worth. Maybe not $50 an hour, but at least starting from 10 or 15 or 20. It depends. So there is a great website. It's called upwork.com. You can go there, create an account. I am not an affiliate with this website any way possible. I just want to help you not to get stuck in all these shitty opportunities which you might find out on your own in this country. It's just like not worth it to work for $150 in Ukraine when you can do just the same for $500 or $1,000 online with Upwork. And don't be afraid, it's not a scammy website. It has been for a very long period of time. It's decent. My friends were working there and you can really make some money there. And also you can try to use some other websites. Maybe you want to try Fiverr or iWriter. On iWriter they need articles all the time and they are going to pay you some dollars for some amount of words. I don't really remember a number, but if you want to write, you can go and discover. It's not the best job in the world, but it's definitely better what you can find on your own in Ukraine. Let's move on. Well, the second best option is to start a channel and sell some ads. So you have your personal experience, you are seeing new things all the time in Ukraine, maybe you travel, maybe you study. There is a ton of people who want to study in Ukraine. I really don't know why, but they want to study here. So you can create a channel and you can share your experience. You can, for sure, it must be in English language. And once you get some people watching your videos, you switch on advertising from YouTube and you're going to get paid for every single 1,000 views you're getting. It's also a nice option, but it's not so fast as Upwork. Let's move on. Even after everything I told you, if you are still interested, here are your real options to get paid in Ukraine. Well, you can go to some call center. Call center, it works like this. Yes, they need English-speaking people. So they're going to pay you somewhere from $200 and above if you are going to work full-time or if you are going to work at night, maybe it will be 300 or 400 or whatever. And what you can do there, you can talk with people from English-speaking countries and be some support for them, teach them how to use computer software, or answer some calls, maybe even sell some licenses. If you like it, you can try it. But really, you don't have to, because you already speak English and you can do the same on Upwork and get way more money. Let's move on. You can teach English here, but it still will be terrible because you're not going to get lots of money, and the majority of your students will suck big time because they don't really want to learn English. Everybody in Ukraine can learn English. Here in Ukraine we study English from almost the first grade in the school, but people are so unmotivated to learn English that even after 10 years of school, then 5 years of university, nobody still can speak English. Well, it's a big warning sign for me that, and it must be for you, that you should not teach English in Ukraine. But if you want, you can still try it and be a slave in some private school for $100. Well, it's ridiculous because you can make this amount of money in a day teaching English online. There is an unlimited amount of websites where they need more teachers, and you just Google them. You can also find teaching opportunities on Upwork. I really recommend you not to teach in Ukraine English. Also, you have to be aware that there are lots of scams in Ukraine. Like unlimited amount of scams connected to the work. So they might want not to pay you for the first month, or they might want to make you responsible for whatever shit is going on inside the company, and they are losing money because of it, and it's definitely not your fault. There is also such a thing that if they, I know this with English teaching private schools right here in my city, that if they're going to pay you more than $200, they will make you to sign an agreement that you will not be able to run away from them for 2 or 3 years. And yes, in this case, they will pay you maybe for $100 more. But really, you don't have to do this because, once again, online you can teach English and you can make this money in one day, not the whole month, which is ridiculous. Next, you can also find such a position as a translator for dating agencies or dating industry. In 99% it will be a terrible scam. Never ever even talk with these guys. Well, this is not a video about dating industry, but just like it's the worst idea you can try in order to make money. Next, you can also find somewhere MLM, or it's also called multi-level network marketing, or investing. A multi-level network marketing, it might be not a scam, it might be a real thing, but if you are not good at pitching stuff, you're not going to get the amount of money you want to get. And investing, if anyone is telling you that just like, let's invest your money in this company or this opportunity, in 30 days you're going to get the double of what you invested. Like, it's a scam. Don't even talk with these guys. Forget them. So delete their numbers, block them, and never ever talk to them, because they will just take your money and you won't be able to prove anything because you speak English, and almost nobody in this country speaks English. One more opportunity is to turn your hobby into a job. So if you are a professional, considerably. If you mastered anything, starting from dancing to fighting to time management, you have a potential to find somebody ready to pay for this, and you're going to teach them. So in case with dancing, it will be way more easy because there is a ton of dancing schools and there is a ton of dancing gurus traveling all over the world, giving seminars for good money. It's like not for $10 per hour. So you might want to jump on it. In case like if your hobby is something more complex like time management, you can still get a gig in this. In this case, you have to target training companies. It's like a very popular thing right now to get improved in Ukraine, to buy some training. Of course, the majority of people don't get a dime thing about what they are teaching. So if you are good at some kind of business school or creativity or managing with the stress, anything, you will be like a diamond for them. But you will need some help to connect with these companies because in the majority of cases they cannot communicate with you in English. Once again, the best tip I can give you: never ever get a job in Ukraine. And believe me, you will be so much happier working with English-speaking people, teaching them English or doing whatever online on Upwork, getting decent money, than working for peanuts in Ukraine. Of course, if you need some fast $50 or $100, you can go and do it, but it's terrible. It's a miserable experience, so don't do it. Go to Upwork or go to Fiverr or go to iWriter or use every single opportunity you can to connect with English-speaking people, maybe even from your native city where you were born. Ask them if they need your freelancing help, and they might be more than happy because you will have this kind of affinity with them. You both are from one city.